And I do, before you go here, I've got some really crazy information about Meridian Police Department and some of the things that they said that is now becoming exposed.
Yeah.
So now moving on, I did say that that I had some videos, or not videos, but I had some information about Meridian Police, and it is tied to the Baby Cyrus case. So what happened was, after I was arrested and the dust kind of fell from the whole thing, we had some people that donated some money to do a public records request. And I want to thank those people. I want to thank them personally. You know who you are. And Scott and Chuck, I want to thank you for doing that. Because it's been a long process. It's been a couple years now. We filed a public records request trying to get all the records from Meridian Police when they arrested me and through the Baby Cyrus incident. Now, interesting enough that if you remember, they tried me for trespassing when I demanded that they give Baby Cyrus back at the hospital. And I was supposed to get all the discovery from that, you know, from the case. And I thought I did get all the discovery. But what happened is when we filed this public records request, we found out that the Meridian Police Department had over, just for the week and a half period of time, it's actually more like a week period of time, we found that the Meridian Police Department had communicated using my name in 997 emails. I may be wrong on that, but almost 1,000 emails. And then also there was a bunch of videos that they did not turn over. Now, the public records request is supposed to outline basically what the records have, and they did that. And they wanted us to pay a whole bunch of money to get those records, which we did pay a decent amount thanks to the donations that were given us. But let me back up just a little bit, because I'm going to just back up here. Because if you remember, Meridian police officers arrested Cyrus's mother, Marissa, and Cyrus's aunt. And then when they took Baby Cyrus. And those charges were dropped. But let me tell you how they were dropped. After they were arrested, Marissa and Miranda's attorneys asked for all the discovery from the Meridian Police Department. And the Meridian Police Department did not produce this discovery to them. So then their attorneys went to the court and said, look, Meridian Police Department is not producing the discovery like they're supposed to. And so we're asking you to compel Meridian Police Department to produce the discovery. And Meridian Police Department, was fighting to not release the discovery, the videos and so forth. And so the judge says, this is a legal proceeding. You have to produce the discovery. You have to produce the documents and the videos, and you have 10 days to do it. Well, one day before the due date, Meridian Police Department, or Meridian, dismissed the case against Marissa and Miranda. So those records were never obtained. They were never received. So then now we are doing a public records request, and Meridian Police Department is refusing to give up the documents. And so we sued them. And when I say we, it actually wasn't me. I guess I could say Lori Marr. It's on public record. And love you, Lori. You're awesome. Such a go-getter. Anyway, she was the one named on the request. And she filed a lawsuit against them for not producing the public records that they're required by law under the Idaho Public Records Request Act. She sued them. And This is the amazing part. The judge, they had a hearing, of course. Well, actually, Meridian Police responded back and said that it would be a violation, and I'm going to read you some things here, but this is just the beginning of it. It'd be a violation of their officers' right to a fair trial if they produced these documents. Okay? So anyway, that's what they wrote. So then the judge had a hearing, and he ordered them to produce the videos and emails in the public records request, and that they had 10 days to do it. Now, during that 10 days, Meridian Police Department, their attorneys, filed a motion asking the judge to reconsider her decision in forcing them to give up the documents. And let me read you a little bit right in here of I'll show you let me read to you what they actually are saying. It's crazy. They said, this is in their request for the judge to reconsider. They said, there are 2 Meridian Police Department cases containing records responsive to the request. The first is Meridian Police Daily Report, in which Ammon Bundy is named as a suspect. The second is Meridian Police record, which describes the investigation of Levi Anderson and Marissa Anderson. If the evidence is released to the petitioner in the case before the court, particularly if released without a protective order, it can be presumed that the information, images, and footages will then be disseminated to the general public. Of course, that's what the public records request is for. In fact, in the Idaho Public Records Act, it says that it is the right of the citizens of Idaho to basically see all the records. And so now they're saying that if the records were given, that they would be disseminated to the general public. They're concerned about it. Then they go on, in this event, the information will be available. Absent proper foundation and context released of the request records, the subsequent public presentation of this information will be unduly prejudiced to the defendants, so to the police officers. They're saying that if it's disseminated to the public, that it will prejudice the police officers. Okay, it goes on. It says, the matters have garnished significant, so it's talking about the videos and so forth and the evidence. The matters have garnished significant coverage from traditional media outlets and in online social media. And it is likely that release of the requested documents under IPRA, that's Idaho Public Records Request Act, will again draw attention to the matter, establish a particular narrative, generate public conversation, and this time deprive defendants of their right to a fair trial. So they do not want it to get out because the public will pay attention to it. They will, it must be significant because it'll generate a whole bunch of public outcry again. And that the police officers, again, will not receive a fair trial if this happens. It goes on. It says the content of the video and records in this case are likely to invoke strong emotions. So I wonder what's in these videos and what's in these emails. I mean, this is the Meridian Police Department's, the Meridian police officers, lawyers that are saying this, that the content of the videos and records in this case are likely to invoke strong emotion. Goes on, the city of Meridian Police Department, and officers named in the case have already sustained years of harassment, both online and in person, and received numerous threats of violence and other harm from across the country based on the matters being litigated. Release and subsequent distribution of the requested records will invigorate these efforts. So what's in these records? With the added effect of depriving the city, Meridian Police Department, and officers of their right to a fair trial. This is crazy. So then the respondent would ask that this court reconsider its decision regarding City of Application of Idaho, section da-da-da-da, to the petitioner's request for record and uphold the denial of the records. So we now have, this is the third case, or the third time that these records have been requested or demanded, and they have not been produced. Now, I will say this too. Marissa and Levi, Baby Cyrus's mother and father, sued Meridian Police Department, CPS, and St. Luke's for their actions in taking Baby Cyrus. And Meridian Police Department has not produced the evidence, the discovery in that case either. And I would imagine they're going to try to get it sealed or protected or made so that it doesn't get out to the public. Basically, it's saying that if the public was able to view the information and have the information, that they'd be outraged, and that it would deprive the Meridian Police Department and prejudice them so they couldn't get a fair trial, meaning that the public would be so outraged that they would find the Meridian Police guilty. And so, and this has all been kept under the wraps. Like, have you heard about it in the media? Has the Idaho media even talked about it? No. And that's because they weaved this terrible story about something that I did and Diego, Cyrus's grandfather did, basically saying that we did all of it to get money and popularity, that all of it was just to gain money and subscribers on whatever social media, I guess. That's what they said we did it, and that's what the media ran with. Now, a couple more things. Again, I just wanted to be factual in this video, just to give you an update. I've been wanting to do it for so long, and I wanted to do it where I could, show you the documents and so forth, but time just doesn't allow it. So one more thing, I got a message from a very trustworthy person that I completely trust, and she said this. It's just a text message that I had, and I'm going to read through it. If you remember, Sergeant McGilvery of Meridian Police Department was the officer in charge when they took Baby Cyrus. And I've watched the videos many, many times, the body cams and so forth. And this Sergeant McGilvery has come up in my mind many times about being a psychopath. And I really believed it. I expressed it many times, and I said it. I believe that he is a psychopath, and I watched what he did and how he did it and how he drug Levi out of the car and slammed him up against the truck. How he twisted Miranda, the aunt's arm, and drug her out of the car with her arm over the door, twisted down. And then how he lied multiple times to Marissa to get her in the ambulance so they could just take the baby and then have her arrested. And how he covers his body cam so that, and turns it off, or the sound off, so that, it can't be heard what he's saying and doing right before they take Baby Cyrus. And then how he just immediately almost arrested me at the hospital and all the things that he did. And he was clearly the one in charge. So now I get this text, and I'm going to wrap up here in a little bit, but I get this text and it says, "Hey, Ammon, how are you doing?" I said, "How are you doing?" She said, "So I just found out that Sergeant McGilvery pled guilty to battery for choking out a female officer to the same judge as the Baby Cyrus case." And I said, "Wow, do you have any information on that?" She goes, "That's everything I have so far. The hearing is still active right now, and this just happened a few minutes ago," meaning he was just found guilty of battery for choking out a female officer. She said, I just had to tell you immediately, I'm waiting for more information after the hearing. And I said, please send it to me when you get it. That guy is a psychopath, in my opinion. She said, I will, and totally agree. He's a psychopath. And then today I said, do you have any more information about McGilvery? And she says, none yet. Filed a public records request, but the case is still open. We will most likely have to wait until after the sentencing to get that info. Now, yeah, maybe after the sentencing, but if the pattern of Meridian Police Department continues, that it'll take years to get it, just like it's taken us years, and we still don't have the videos and everything from when they took Baby Cyrus. And then she says, but you will be the first to have anything I get. I said, did you watch part of the hearing? Because I just wanted to, confirm information and so forth. And she says, I did not, but there was an attorney who was in the hearing, and he's the one who let me know. He said the case might be sealed since there was a victim. Yeah, they just seal these cases just so the public doesn't know about them. But that we should be able to get access to the police report at least. So I'm just letting you know that these, Meridian Police Department, and in my opinion, Idaho is on a terrible path. In fact, I was just communicating with a seasoned Idaho legislator. I am not going to say the legislator's name because I do not want retaliation. But this is what was said in that communication. I don't know if you followed the legislature. This was the legislators talking. She says, I don't know if you followed the legislature, but today several of the most nefarious and evil bills were presented that I've ever seen. This is a seasoned legislator. I'm talking about a decade plus. Mike goes on. Mike Moyles wants there to be a ministry of truth administered by the Secretary of State's office. Crazy. And I said, Idaho is truly in trouble. I was not just saying that as a campaign tactic. I truly believe it when I said it, and I still believe it today more than ever. I know you have been saying it as well. I'm glad you're still fighting. And then the legislator responded, and, I'm going to say, she says, Ammon, I know you meant what you said when you were campaigning. I know your heart is pure and true. I know you are one of the few people in the world who really stands up for what is right and true. And I'm just grateful that was expressed. That I do believe that there are good people in the Idaho legislature, but Idaho is just going down this terrible path, and they're just accepting all of the things that Oregon and Washington and even California accepted that made them these liberal states. And I'm hoping that anybody that has power to be able to make an influence in Idaho uses that power. I'm talking about even people like President Trump. Don't go in there and think that Brad Little is just some good old conservative boy, or that Scott Bedke, who's going to be running for governor next, or that IACI, which is run by St. Luke's, is some conservative industrial activist group or lobbyist group. It's just, that's not what's going on. And anyway, there's a lot of problems. Meridian Police Department is just full of it, full of corruption, full of abuse, and willing to cover themselves up even against the law. And so I guess we're going to see what happens. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your prayers. Again, we get up every day, we go through the day, and the day-to-day is not that bad. It's just our future that is really, really in question, and that we are constantly be under attack by Chris Roth, the CEO of St. Luke's, and Eric Stidham, the partner in Holland Hart, and it's all being funded by taxpayer dollars or donations to St. Luke's. So anyway, thanks for listening. Have a good day.